Hey Bucks here. Today I'm going to rank all the Team of the Year players, which you should be targeting if you've not done your solos yet. You know, the best ones out of that pack right there will help you kind of target which ones also for your team if you're thinking about picking any of these up today or in the future days to come. I've used them all except for a couple of the D linemen and the punter and Tariq Cohen. I think those are the only ones I haven't used. Otherwise, you guys can see it on my second channel, Got Fox 2, linked in the description. The gameplay of the full Team of the Year team. We'll also be putting out other videos on individual players over there soon. So, Team of the Year cards, here they are. Let's go ahead and rank them from last to best. All right. So, the bottom two are actually going to be the running backs. Now, whoa, that was a loud one. You guys didn't hear that. Maybe you did. The bottom two are going to be the running backs, okay? Now, they're not terrible, okay? The speed on them is a little bit underwhelming. They can be improved quite a bit. Obviously, on theme teams, power up, you have, let's just sort by position, all right? They can be powered up, brought up to like mid-90s speed. They've got very good stats, but because of the competition at running back in Madden Ultimate Team with Eric Dickerson, Bo at 99 speed, Walter Payton's better than this. There's so many running backs out there, and we get a new one every week. That's phenomenal. I don't think it is a very good idea to get these cards unless you're a big fan of them individually or you're running a theme team. So Nick Chubb, solid trucking, solid break tackle, but I mean, it's like similar to Bo, but Bo is faster. Tariq, solid stats. Like I say, 98 elusiveness, break tackles, 91 fine, 92 speeds, a little bit slow. But, like, you know, you got Walter Payton out there. Barry Sanders is a very good, and he's got an activated X factor. So, I just don't think these cards, even though they're okay, I don't think they're worth getting for your team over a lot of the other cards. And that includes a punter. What? A punter? You hate punters. Yeah, but I hate running backs more this year due to the lack of necessary or the need for them. So, Trezway, 96 kip power. Basically, if you get Trezway, your punter's locked down the rest of the year. I don't recommend getting him out of the pack. Okay, these are bottom three type players. You know, if you got a specialist, there might be a better one. Well, there will be a better one because there's not many below him except for Tariq Cohen. All right, next up. Now, I want to say this card is a very interesting card. Patrick Ricard, okay? I say Ricard. 75 speed is tough on the stretches because that's a lot of what you're going to be using an I-form fullback for. If you're just going to run it for fullback dive, that's cool. We know he is a very thick boy. He is basically a Vita Vea, a little bit thinner Vita Vea back there. But he's got really nice impact block for the dives. His issue is like, you know, for the speed, he doesn't have a lot of versatility that a lot of other fullbacks cause. So should you grab this guy on your roster? If you're on a Ravens theme team, sure, but otherwise, the speed I've noticed in my stretches, I was able to outrun him pretty easily or too easily for anything too valuable for stretches there. Otherwise, you know, good luck to you. If you can make it work, congratulations. Next up, Zadarius Smith. Now, a lot of Packer fans are going to be coming at my throat, and you can bring it. Go ahead, bring it. 76 block shed on an outside linebacker. That's really he's going to be a pass rusher. He's going to be an edge kind of player with a power move. He can't drop into coverage very well. His 61 zone coverage is pathetic. And in a run meta where I've seen Khalil Mack with his block shed actually do a lot of good things, 76 block shed is going to be hooked by just about every single card. Even though Khalil does get hooked a lot, he does get the sheds more than a lot of cards, and especially more than this card will do, unless just some random fuckery happens. So, you know, it is Madden, that will happen. But 76 block shed for a red meta, not exactly, especially with a guy that's going to be playing on the line of scrimmage for you. Not a guy that you really want to have. A lot better options. I mean, he's not terrible, but there are a lot better options there. Chandler Jones is along the same lines. So Zadarius Smith at 84 speed, it's solid. It's very good. But when you have guys like Mac, when you have guys like LT out there specifically, a lot of guys can kind of get pretty good speed. 82 speed on him. Block shed's a little bit better. Power move 95. Like, they got great pass rushing. That's why they're out there. They got a ton of sacks this year. Good for them. One was snubbed. Another one was doing really well. How many sacks did Chandler Jones have this year? It was surprisingly a lot. It's like he had quietly a great year. So glad that he got Team of the Year card. But the card itself, not exactly particularly amazing again in this meta. There are a lot of pass rushers. You know, you got the Bosa's out there. You got this card. A lot of cards that can do that pass rush thing. But you really want right now on a Team of the Year card that kind of be more flexible for a lot of different schemes. Along that same line with Everson Griffin, You'll notice a lot of defensive linemen because they have the holes in their line in their games. You'll notice a lot of these guys. An 89 block shed, it is solid. It's better than the last two. That's why he's here. 84 speed, so he is better than faster than Chandler Jones. He can also play defensive tackle, rush defensive tackle spot if you want to put him in there for nickel. So a solid player for that position for you. But otherwise, nothing too crazy or stand outish. But Griffin, not a bad card. But like all these are not bad cards at all. So don't take any of this as disrespect, but there's just a lot of good cards they put out for Team of the Year, in my opinion. But these ones are a little bit underwhelming. I know how many people go like, oh, Team of the Year was terrible. I don't think it was that bad. Corey Littleton is the next one, obviously, because he was on the list right there. Rip Luke. We'll get to Luke in a little bit. Littleton, 87 speed at 6'3". Now, you'd want his hit power. His hit power not being able to get enforcer is the reason why he's a little bit lower on the list. But 6'3" with 87 speed, it's not terrible. It's definitely usable. 82 block shed. We'll take a look at what his impact is. I believe his impact is on the other page, as they don't show it. What happens? Why does that keep doing that to me? God dang it. Windows, you are annoying. Annoying. So Littleton, with your impact right there, 80. So that could be better. That should be better for an off-the-ball linebacker, which is why he's ranked a little bit low. But not a bad, only $300K for the 95. Around training price, I believe. So could be better, could be worse. Again, with that fucking Microsoft. Next up, Michael Thomas is number 23. The first one of our skill players. Well, I guess running backs are skill players, quote unquote. But Michael Thomas, first receiver on the list. Why? Speed. Yes, he will hang on to things in traffic amazingly. T.O. can do that, but T.O. can hit 98 speed. I guess that's a 25 out of 50 49ers theme team. So T.O.'s hitting 97 speed, doing the same thing Michael Thomas can do. Obviously, you have to have more than one wide receiver in the field, but 90 speed, that just doesn't really work right now in Madden. Speed is everything. Yes, Michael Thomas with like matchup nightmare, but everything with matchup nightmare is just glitchy or goal line and just kind of throw it at them. They catch it against linebackers. Sure, that's fine. But he needs to be able to do other things. He needs to be able to kind of like swerve around people fast, turn drags into 10-yard plays. He can make contested catches that catch in traffic, but still it's Madden. They will drop the ball when breathed on way too frequently. But the catch in traffic is really nice on him. I'm not gonna get that wrong. I'm not gonna say otherwise. Joel Tonio is next up, the first of the offensive linemen. Now you might be wondering, like, offensive linemen, they really don't mean anything. And they really don't. This is the worst of them, but these are kind of the offensive linemen that you get and you can kind of forget for the rest of the year, right? Because their overalls are so nice. They are basically, if you're going to get them free, that position's done. You don't have to think about that the rest of the Madden forever. These are forever cards. Tonio is the worst of these forever cards. 90 run block. For an interior offensive lineman, you really want higher run block. So Batonio is one I do not recommend you getting. I could see you guys saying, hey, I would never take Batonio in a million years, and I would agree with that. I don't know why Quentin Nelson didn't get it. So I can see him being rated lower on a lot of people's lists, along with a lot of offensive linemen if you don't value it. If you need to fill holes other places, definitely get those players. But there's a lot of people that are going to be above the offensive lineman. Geno Atkins right here, so pretty well statted for defensive lineman because he's got 91 block shed and 95 power move. Defensive tackle with 79 speed. A little bit faster defensive tackle. You could argue you'd want more block shit on the card, and I would agree with you. That's why he's kind of right here on the list rather than like, top half or anything. So he's bottom third on the list. All these bottom third players are all kind of just like ignore. Don't put them on your team. There's really no reason. And Geno Atkins just kind of continuing that. But I'm going to say solid stats for the power move for defensive tackle. He can play every single down because he isn't like a terrible shedder. Number 20, Grady Jarrett, another shedder in the middle. 91 block. Grady Jarrett's 95 block shed, 91 power move. So he's like the reverse of Geno Atkins. You lose 7 speed on him. But I do like for my defensive tackles, if you're going to be in there, if you're going to be a nice thick boy, 305 isn't the thickest, but he does have a high block shed for a 300-pounder, which is really what you want from a defensive tackle. I've noticed power moves, they don't play a lot. You don't get a lot of sacks from your defensive tackle like you do for your defensive ends. You will see it once in a while, but I think, here's the thing. 91 power move is good enough to get sacks, right? Splitting double teams, but I do like the block shit out of there to help stop against dives and other kind of like slow handoff guys or guys cutting back across the grain, and then Grady Jarrett hopefully is right there for you. 72 speed, might be a little slower than you liked, whereas Geno's got 79, so I could see the argument to go Geno over him, but I want Jarrett because of the block shed. All right, next up, number 19, Casey Hayward. Now, Casey Hayward and all cornerbacks absolutely need to be powered up and put sprinter, brawler, that kind of speed chems on them, because 91 speed, 92 speed with just John Madden, it's not going to play, right? It is not going to play against the Moss of the world. You'll see in that video I put on my second YouTube channel, Casey Hayward, I played a cover 4 with him. Randy Moss went right past him, gave up a touchdown that game. Made me have to fight. I had to sub him out. He got benched during that game, but you had to power him up. You can get him up to 96 speed. 5'11 is unfortunately short. Tall guys play better in this game, just like, Richard Sherman, his height, his length, plays better IRL. So Casey Hayward, 5'11, does really hurt him. I would much rather have someone like Mel Blount, 6'3", same speed, and can do very similar things. But he does have nice man press, zone kind of stuff on him. Calais Campbell. Move him up. Move him up. All right, number 18. Why is Calais there? Because he's got a shit ton of block shed. 96 block shed, 74 speed, so a little faster, a little bit better block shed, a little bit better power move and finesse move than, say, Grady Jarrett, who we were just looking at. Big, tall, 6'8", might be able to knock down a couple balls. Whoops, what did I do? Oh, I just did the filter. Might be able to knock down a couple balls to 6'8" frame of, like, if somebody's got Russell Wilson back there and they try and throw the ball and 6'8" sitting there, he's like, oh, hand up, knock down. So Calais Campbell might be nice for swatting passes. You don't see a ton of swats this year unless players are throwing low passes, but Calais might get you one or two of those every season or so. All right, number 17, Godwin. So, Mr. Godwin, what's nice about you? 92 speed, not God tier, not Moss, not Owens, not up there, but solid catch of traffic, solid route runnings, solid everything like that. After the catch, though, what I've seen from Godwin, can't really get tier A juked, spin moves bad, break tackle 83 is just fine, nothing glitchy. 55 run block is pretty good for a wide receiver, sure, granted. So Godwin, I think he's fair, that's why he's in the middle of this list. And the guy right ahead of him, essentially a clone of that card. DeAndre Hopkins, very good receivers IRL. The problem is 92 speed. You can power up, get it up to 95, that kind of stuff. But again, juke moves, easier to get up to 90 when the power up happens to get the tier 8 juke, solid. Break tackles the same. Not that great a run block. 55 is only 7 more, but you want every single piece of that run block. Impact block's also low. But overall, very similar card to Godwin. I think I'd take Hopkins over Godwin, though, just through the stats. Jumping's a little bit better, and some of the after catching is a little bit better. But if you want a better run blocker, you go with Godwin. Same height and everything, though. All right. Number 15, Jason Peters. He's here again. Lineman. Basically, your end game left tackle if you decide to get this guy. 92 run block. If you're a runner, maybe you can argue that you want a little bit higher run block there. But pass blocking, very solid. He'll still get beat up by abilities, sadly. That's why I have him here. I'm not in love with putting linemen so high. And let's just fill out the rest of them, right? Jensen, Braden, and the highest rated one is Zach Martin at guard because he's got the best stats. I'm not in love putting offensive linemen here, but it happened. Okay, deal with it. I just don't like the guys below this. There's nothing like special. We're getting to the special guys. Like, they're all good, but I'm not gonna write home to my mother about any of those cards and how glitchy they are. Once we start getting to the top 10, that's where we really start getting nice. Okay, nice. So, sadly, this is going to bring up potential tiers as everybody, back before I put on a ton of weight, streaming every day and doing nothing with my piece of shit life, I got compared a lot to Luke Kuechly. Handsome looking fella that Luke is. And not only that, his card, they gave him a decent speed boost. Now, he's not up there with Willis for his nice speed. You will want to, of course, power up, get the brawler, that kind of stuff. The extra hit power that you can get with, you can either get extra zone coverage or hit power. Either way, it's going to work for you. He gets Enforcer and Lurker. You get that 2 combo, and you're a great middle linebacker. Luke Kuechly is a great middle linebacker. It's just gotten so common now. So many cards get that. We no longer think that it's special, but that is a special thing to get. So Luke gets it. Luke's a good card. I mean, congratulations on the retirement. You had a phenomenal career. It's too bad it was spent on the Panthers. Man, it would be kind of sweet to have you in Steeltown. If you could somehow work out a trade and come back for the Steelers, love to have you. Would love to replace Mark Barron with you. Come on, veteran minimum. We got a spot for you, Luke. But more seriously, great career. And that's all I got to say about that. It was a pleasure watching him whenever I was able to. Number 10 on the list, Zane Gonzalez, a frickin' kicker. Yes, a frickin' kicker. A kicker that's going to be able to get you an extra couple yards on any type of field goal versus the other kickers in the game. He does get both kicker chemistries. You can activate them in your special teams, so he doesn't take away from offensive or defensive activation. You can get the focus kicker, you can get the clutch kicker, so you won't get iced. An absolute, not necessarily need at the end of the game, but man, is he such a safety blanket. You can essentially kick from 60. All right, moving on to the next card. Number 9, Mr. Jonathan Jones. You wouldn't expect to see a specialist so high. Oh, wait, you would, because he's not the only one. Jonathan Jones, 96 speed at CB. Dude, he doesn't have a power-up, but just natural. Like, this guy natural is going to play as well as Casey Hayward's power-up, right? Press, that's easily gotten to 90 with John Madden chems or just lockdown. You can get his zone coverage up to 90 with lockdown John Madden, which I have. So he gets those 90 thresholds. Not necessarily like thresholds, but you really want to kind of, the higher the better, I guess, this year for all that. 96 speed, 96 acceleration. Agility is lower than you like to see. But, for a stock card, Jonathan Jones, what is he, 325, is a very mean corner. I like him. Corner, put him at corner number 3. You can blitz him off the edge. You can do a lot with this card. I like it. 5'10", maybe you'd argue you want somebody a little taller. Jonathan Jones, very good card. And along the same line as a specialist with a ton of speed, before we get into the truly glitchy cards, is Mr. Mecole Hardman, the highest rated wide receiver I have this year. 97 speed, no power up, but again, John Madden +1, Kansas City Chiefs theme team +2 up to 99 speed. Catch in traffic, catch, spec catch, all solid. His route runnings are all over 92. So Mecole, after the catch, he can juke. Oh wait, you guys can't see that, sorry. After the catch, he can juke. Route runnings are all over 90, easy. Spec catch, catch in traffic, catch, like I said. Elusiveness, spin moves at tier A too. So just phenomenal. The only thing he struggles at, again, is like run block, but that's pretty similar to what Hopkins had. So I'm not going to give you boosts for Hopkins. But yeah, overall, Mecole, great. The only downside, 5'10". Little pricey too. You're going to pay for that speed. Number 6, 7, might come as a shock to a lot of people. Russell Wilson. Now, why is Russell Wilson so low? He is a phenomenal quarterback. I think the only quarterback with quarterback playmaker in the game, and I believe that to be true. So you can get quarterback playmaker, which people that know playmaker, that have played in previous years' Maddens, know how powerful that truly is when you work that into your offense. If that's not a part of your offense, there's no reason to get Russell Wilson over a lot of the other improvisers, over a lot of the other scrambling guys like Vic, Lamar, so on and so forth. But Wilson, 92 throw power, a little bit lower than I can see. You can easily get that up to 95-ish. With powering up or John Madden and go deep chems. Otherwise, yeah, he's a quarterback. We get a new quarterback just about every week, a new God tier quarterback. We're on the precipice of getting maybe a Rodgers. We might get Super Bowl quarterbacks, Super Bowl pass quarterbacks. It'll be high overall. We might get MVP Lamar. That's coming out in like 3 weeks or so. So there's a lot of quarterbacks, maybe a month at most for Lamar. There's a lot of quarterbacks on their way. And that's why I don't suggest get Russell Wilson and tie yourself to him. He is phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. Absolutely great. His release isn't anything special, but the card itself with QB Playmaker is the number 1 quarterback in the game at the moment, in my opinion. Do that Playmaker if you can work it into your scheme. But position availability is why Tre'Davious White is ranked ahead of him and some of the other ones, which we'll get to. Tre'Davious White, cornerback, ton of speed, can be powered up, great stats. I think I got him like 99 press and close to 99 man or 98 man. High zone coverage to lockdown. Just an absolute phenomenal player. Good agility on him too with acceleration. So Tre'Davious White, 5'11", maybe not the tallest guy that you want, but he played well for me. He got some really nice interceptions for us. I think an absolute beast right there. And somebody you really want to kind of tie your, horse onto. And he'll cart you down the field because he can carry you. Jamal Adams, number 5. People might be like, Jamal Adams, number 5. Shouldn't he be higher? What the heck? He's 555. He's one of the more expensive cards. What are you doing? Come on, Fox. 92 speed, hip power, man coverage, zone coverage. Yes. It's all wonderful. I'm not disagreeing with you. A lot of arguments can be made for the top few players. I think Jamal Adams isn't as good as Minkah Fitzpatrick. Minkah Fitzpatrick gets enforcer. Minkah gets universal coverage. Jamal can't get universal coverage and enforcer. You can get zoned out on Jamal. Sure, that's great. They're both the same height. Minkah's faster, has better acceleration. Jamal Adams' agility, 88. What's Minkah's agility? 95. Minkah is a better card, and that's not Steelers love coming into effect. You can argue the 9 points in hit power is significant, and I would say yes. Yes, yes, yes. But Enforcer is still there. I watched Minkah force a fumble with Enforcer on an activated Dickerson just today. Yes, it can happen. Even with only 90 hit power. So, I think Minkah, universal, which means he has the man chemistry and zone chemistry, along with his high man. You could put him at corner even. He doesn't have the greatest press, so maybe he'd be a good corner to put with like Deion Sanders. But we'd have Enforcer at corner with all this speed. Yeah, I think Minkah, in my opinion, that's why I put Minkah one ahead of Jamal. But both are absolutely phenomenal safeties. We have a lot of phenomenal safeties, which is one of the reasons why they are 4 and 5 versus higher than George Kittle. George Kittle, you can argue, maybe not as impactful. Maybe his stats aren't as great as Minkah and Jamal. But George Kittle, taking a look at him, where are you at? George Kittle, 88 speed, 87 run block, basically does it all. He's also tall at 6'4". I was hoping his catch in traffic would be higher, but I've had a lot of success this year with George Kittle. I think he's a great card. I've had a fun time. He felt a lot easier, faster, getting up the field, turning with the ball with his latest card versus last one, obviously because he's faster. But an overall, a solid addition to your squad. I think George Kittle, not necessarily endgame. We'll get much better tight ends through the year as we get into the season for it. But Aaron Donald is one that you could truly call endgame, right? Aaron Donald is my number 2 player because, 84 speed's obviously going to be improved upon through the year. But block shed's going to be 99 in your squad most likely. Power move 99, not too hard. Same with finesse move's going to get up there, not 99 obviously. But Aaron Donald is a wrecking crew for your defensive line. He is fast. He is strong. Not that it really matters a ton. He gets a ton of block shed, power move, gets a ton of great pass rushing chems. Only thing is he doesn't get enforcer, which I don't know, is argue whether it's valuable on the defensive line or not, especially the right end. You can put him at rush defensive tackle, leave him outside, very flexible and plays every single position. You can put him out of position there with his power up too. So number 1, as you all always know, Taiwan number 1. But there's the list. Enjoy. Let me know what you guys think about this rank of the Team of the Year cards. How would you change it? What did you take? What are you gunning for? But that's it for this video. Thanks for watching Call to Action. I'll see you tomorrow.